If you did not see my main channel video, I actually asked the question of how are people using multiple phones to do gig apps like GrubHUb, DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Spark, and what is the reason they are using multiple phones for? I ended up doing a little bit of my own research, and I'm going to show you guys what I found. I'm going to show you the information I found, and hopefully we can solve the mystery of why people like this exist and why he is using 4 different phones to do these apps. So first we have to ask the question of why is this person actually using 4 phones? And the obvious answer is probably because it makes him more money. But how is he actually logging onto all of these apps on all of these devices? Because when you think about it, I don't think you're allowed, there's absolutely no way that you can be logged into DoorDash on all 4 different phones. So it could be, right, I'm just saying this is all speculation, but it could be that he's using one phone, which is his own DoorDash account, and then the other 3 phones are accounts that may have stolen identities. Now, another thing that I found is it could be that he's just using one app on every phone, right? So he has 4 phones. It could be Instacart on one of them, and then all of the other food apps on all of the others, and all he is doing is keeping all of the, you know how it has like the main page of the app, right? So he has the Uber app open on one phone, and then the DoorDash right next to it to make it easier for him to see all of the orders. But when you think about it and you really put that thing that he has in front of him, his eyes have to go left to right, right to left every single time. I feel like that would just make it so much harder than just going on your phone, swiping over to whatever is pinging you at the time, because DoorDash does send you a message. You do get the pop-up on Uber. I just feel like that's a bigger waste of time to carry all those phones. Not only that, but he had to pay for all those phones, and he's probably hotspotting from one phone to all of the others. And how does the signal strength even work on those hotspots when you're hotspotting 3 separate devices to one more device, right? He's got to be using Verizon or AT&T or something. The thing that most people were saying under this picture's post is that he is probably using multiple accounts under multiple phones. Now, do not worry, because this is not going to last forever, because if you did not see, in certain states, it's not so far in Florida yet, I haven't gotten it yet, but in certain states, DoorDash is actually rolling out an ID verification. So before you can even dash, you have to submit your ID to DoorDash, and there's no way this guy can have all of the separate IDs for all of the other accounts that he has. Now, if he's just using 4 phones for 4 apps, then I guess there's not a problem with that, right? I don't think that's against the terms of service. But the real question is, though, like, it's just why? It makes no sense why you can't just scroll from one app to the next. And because this picture came out, people on the Spark Driver subreddit were actually calling for Walmart to also do the same thing, where you need to verify your ID. And I kind of agree with that. I'm not going to lie. I think that would be a good thing. It would stop people from having multiple accounts. I've said this in my main channel, but there are people at my Walmart, I'm not going to name who, of course, and it's not even just from the Seminole Walmart, it's actually at every single Walmart that I pick up from. You will see people who have maybe 2 phones, who have maybe 3 phones, and I don't know how they do it, but they have the Spark screen on every single phone. I actually saw someone with a tablet and a phone that both have Spark on. So it could be a family members or whatever. I don't know how it works for them because I've never done this, but people, yes, they are calling for random checkups. Like just randomly you start your dash one day, or maybe you get kicked off your dash. You know how on Uber you get kicked off, you try to sign back on. Instead of a face recognition, which would actually be a good thing on all of the apps too, that's what really Spark needs. Spark needs a facial recognition and an ID verification, because when you think about it like that, and also Instacart, that would be great for Instacart as well, for those of you that do that, because it's just not, I don't think it's personally fair that these people have multiple phones with multiple accounts that may be stolen identities, and they're able to take all of these different orders at the same time. One thing that I really did see about this post was that he's really messing over the customers, and this is exactly why customers don't want to tip. Not so much on DoorDash. On DoorDash anyway, you have to deliver it by a certain time or else you get a contract violation. But that comes now at the expense of the Uber Eats customer, which in my market, the Uber Eats customers are a lot better than the DoorDash ones. They tip a lot better. They're friendlier. It comes at the expense of those people. Those people won't want to order anymore. and that kind of just loops around because of this one person. And it's not even just him, of course, it's multiple people that do this. So I just wanted to make a short video on this. Let me know what you guys think about using multiple devices. Again, if it's just like one app on every phone, I guess there's no problem with that. But if they are using multiple accounts on multiple phones, even then, the stress of having to do that, could you imagine having to constantly swipe? It's annoying enough on one phone to have to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Could you imagine having to do that on 4 different phones? I wouldn't even want to do that myself. Yes, you could probably make more money, but the stress that comes along with the fact that you're probably dropping off 5 or 6 orders at once, I'm good. You can have that. I'll stick with my like 2, maybe 3 orders that I'll stack at one time, but doing it this way, that's just too much work. It's not worth it for me. So let me know your thoughts below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another update.